Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar. Não é só na vida que a vida. Não é na janela que se olha. Há uma linha clara perto da saída. Fecha os olhos e você vai ver. Não é só aqui que o sol ilumina. Coisas do além que vão além. Quando de repente é coincidência, nem precisa se esforçar pra querer. Apagaram as luzes pra eu ver. Saí da onde vim pra eu poder ser. Você mostrou o caminho pra eu andar. Eu disse é pelo mar que eu vou nadar.
So casually keep diving into concrete. So bittersweet. Huh? Keep losing sleep while driving in the backseat. What's left of me? Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer. Hard to keep the heat when it gets colder. You know, sometimes everything just gets hard. Sometimes everything just gets harder. Feeling like I'm missing some parts. Days just keep on getting much darker. Even when I'm down in the lower, I remember what you were saying. Sometimes all you need is a spark. Maybe just a better kind of bitter. Lose gravity, I'm swimming in the quicksand. Up to my knees. Keep losing sleep, I'm manic dream at midnight. So hard to please. Drowning in what feels just like an ocean. Negativity is getting closer.
met you, but you look. Oh girl, you blow my mind. And I know what I would like to do, but you just keep on talking. I see your dog needs walking. Your folk drive you insane. I know, yeah, that's true. Of course, you ain't the one to blame. Keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking to me, but I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. Yeah, I just wanna see you move. Sure, I like to listen. It's not like I don't wanna know. It's just that you've been talking to me 3 nights in a row. I think it's time to let go. Forget the past, just lose control. 'Cause life's too short for yapping. Come on and dance, come give me soul. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking to me. You keep on talking. You keep on talking to me. You keep on telling me your dreams. You keep on talking, but I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you move. I just wanna see you. I just wanna see you.
What a night, people dancing in slow motion, blurry eyes. But I've had enough, it's time to say goodbye. 3 a.m. as I'm walking home with a smile. Smoky moon, like a shiver, all the shadows fade away. All your streets are empty, lights begin to sway. 4 a.m. as I think, oh, Stockholm love. Sometimes I picture how life had been in Paris or New York or Shanghai. But you know
'cause it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. And I can't pretend anymore. Oh, I'm yours. Never thought I'd even try. After just one day, it's special, yeah. But there is something in your eyes. Ooh, one false move and you'll be gone. You made me, it's alright. I can't tell if it's the right moment, but baby, anyhow, I can't hold it in anymore, no, 'cause it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. And I can't pretend anymore. Ooh, I'm yours. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. Ooh, I'm yours. Starting to come out. Starting to come in this moment. Yes. I cannot say what's wrong or right. No. It's not hard to fool me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes. Yeah. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. No. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. To the edge of it all. So tell your good nights, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good nights, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I
How we doing?
realize. Lead the way. I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good nights, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell your good nights, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now, before the moment flies. Yeah.
Bobbity, bobbity, bop. We are back. We are back. Shout out to the CIA, the confident, intelligent, and assertive men out there. One love to the FBI, the feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies. Want to make sure you guys can hear me, make sure the sound is good. How's everything? Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me well, let's see what's going on. Let me make sure I can hear well. We're going to do a level check, 1, 2, mic check, 1, 2, mic check. All right, so we are good. We are back. We are back. Shout out to the confident, intelligent, and assertive men. One love to the feminine, beautiful, inspirational ladies. How we doing? Your, your godfather's back in the house, and the house is, of course, packed. If you haven't checked my YouTube channel today, I've loaded a couple of additional videos up, and then some short bangers. Short bangers. You'll want to check out the short bangers. You'll want to check out the short bangers for sure. I'm trying to keep this power level thing going right. Well, the new computer's on the way in. For the longest, I've been switching between an iMac and a MacBook, but this is going to need more power. It takes too much power to stream such a powerful show. So we're going to do what we can for right now while we watch the levels. So if you didn't get a chance to watch Instagram yesterday, you missed a treat. That was a hell of a show. Oh, where are my manners? Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kevin Samuels. I'm a professional image consultant, and my job is to make sure you look good, smell great, and the best version of yourself each and every day. The candle of the evening is, we call it affectionately, we call it 34. It's from Diptyque. It's an indoor-outdoor candle. It is banger. It is just a straight up banger. I like the lights. Y'all can see, Godfather is investing in different studios. Lights, camera. Now I'm free to move around. The candle is 34. And this fragrance right here, I'm sorry to say, hey Lou. Lou Casely is the stream sponsor right now. We're gonna go ahead and pin her right there. Let's go ahead and how you doing? You know, that's a good thing. Ladies, be prepared when you call in. As many are watching you. Thank you very much. This fragrance is an old school fragrance from when Tom Ford was the creative director at Saint Laurent, and it's called M7. That fragrance brought Western oud into perfumery in the States and has revolutionized the game. Okay, so that's what's going on over here. Power level is doing what it's doing. I don't know why it's dropping. Shouldn't be dropping. Well, you know what? Let me check something. Hold on. Ah, that's why it's dropping. Not plugged in. That's why it's dropping. Smart guy. Damn it. Now, it's on its own independent power source now. So that should stabilize things a little bit. What a week. What a month September was. September was a hell of a month, and October's getting off to its own start. So a lot of stuff going on, people. But you got to keep your head up and keep soldiering through. The show must go on. Fragrance of the day, M7, candle 34. Let's go ahead and get a little RB. Until they decide they want to sponsor the show, no more free publicity for the Red Bull. I said it anyway. No more free pub for them. Okay. Keep it cool, keep it classy in the chat room, please. Trying to keep it Waiting for my desk to come in. I have this desk that's coming in that can slot, that can move around, so I can be standing right here. And if I decide I want to walk over there and broadcast from over there, we're gonna do it. So, always trying to get things up and going. Y'all like the fireplace? Y'all like the fireplace? You like the little fireplace lick over there with Chanel? Hey Chanel. Chanel got her own fireplace. Y'all like the fireplace? You got to keep it player. You got to keep it playeristic up and around this piece. If you don't keep it playeristic, gentlemen, you can talk a good game, but if you don't keep it player, you don't know what's going on. But all right, let's get into the program. Keep the likes up. Keep the likes up, please. You should have over 3,500 likes. So again, if I look over and we're below 50% on likes, we'll play the entire song all the way through. The question on the floor today is, are modern women mercenaries? And when I say mercenaries, I mean when it comes to the modern dating scene. What I want you to think about is something like this. Think about if you've ever played organized sports or anything like that, you know that you can often have a team who is less skilled, less natural talent, but if they are running plays, they're going to win. Let's play pickup basketball. You can go out to the basketball court anywhere in the United States, and you can have people who are great individual players, and they can decide to run. And they can do some incredible things, street ball at its finest. But then you can have a team that comes in, a varsity high school team of bench players. But because those players are playing together, because those players have done the basic drills, dribbling, shooting, passing, that kind of stuff, and they're running plays, the team that runs plays often beats the naturally talented players, and they got to give up the game. And what tends to happen? You got guys out there who've been running the court, like a lot of women in general, black women in particular, got the natural gifts, the lips, the nice hips, the waist, the butt, the legs. You've been crossing up other ladies. Woo! Y'all been balling on them. Harlem Globetrotters. I mean, you knocking folks' knees together like Tim Hardaway and Allen Iverson, crossing them up. Then Britney Spears came along, Jenna Oy back in the day when she was 6 over at Blossom, and they didn't, Alyssa Milano, they didn't embrace the butt. And all other kind of women then decided to get back in the lab and decided to start running plays. And what I want you to think about is if you've ever played with people who don't know how to run plays, when you're out here and you're winning and then you start losing, what happens? The one guy who thinks he's Kobe reincarnated starts being a ball hog. What happens? Even when he starts getting cold, what does he do? He keeps jacking up the three. He keeps jacking up the shot. Keep jacking it up, jacking it up. Any sport will do, because then people start playing for themselves. They're not trying to win. They're just trying to make sure they look good. How many times have you been playing with somebody somewhere and you're behind, and what do you see them start to do? They start to just ball hog, keep the ball, keep shooting, and then what happens? The other team slowly coming back, running that same play, pick and roll, inside out, very boring basketball, four corners, whatever, but they got the fundamentals. And what happens? As the team that's used to winning starts losing, the people start acting like, in this case, modern women, selfish nature. You start acting protective. And I want you to think about this. Modern women are moving around the court today with no playbook. They have not had any coaching. They have not been in any structure. They're not on any team. They're just great, got natural talent. And they're used to playing pickup basketball, 21 horse, any of these kind of things. But then you get in the game and relationships. And relationships require work. I say this often, like I talk to those young ladies. Normal relationships are boring because they have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They have Taco Tuesdays. You know, the first part of dating, you're getting to know somebody is exciting, but a normal, healthy relationship has routine and it's boring. But if you're only used to, above the rim kind of basketball, dunking and all this other kind of stuff, normal stuff is boring to you. Practice. I mean, we're talking about practice here. I mean, who needs to practice when you got natural gifts? Practice free throws, practice, improve your game. Why do you need to do any of that? Then when you get on the court and you start losing, what do people who want to win, who are used to winning, when they start losing, they start thinking about themselves. They start thinking about themselves. They start thinking about, I'm going to make sure, at least if we lose, I'm going to make sure I get my 20. I'm going to make sure my stats are good. Modern women are acting like mercenaries in this regard. You can even, I don't want to use the term free agent because somebody else that I know uses the term free agent, but they're starting to just act like it's all about them. You're moving like it's all about you, so you cannot play with anybody else. Who else moves like this? Mercenaries. You can have a standing army, and the army is comprised of the citizenry. The citizenry is called up, and blah, blah, blah. People go to basic training, yada, yada, yada. Then they go out onto the battlefield. And what often happens, you end up having highly skilled warriors, highly skilled soldiers who were really good, had some basic skills, but what do? They end up what? Becoming soldiers for hire, right? Mercenaries are just that, soldiers for hire. They're loyal to no one. They're loyal to no one. They're not loyal to a flag. They're not loyal to a cause. They're loyal to their pocketbook. So if you look at us, I like one of my favorite shows to watch. It's on Stars now. It's the old school series Spartacus. And when Asher was with Praetor Glaber, and he was hunting down Spartacus, Asher said, "Hey man, you're trying to fight these gladiators, these mercenaries. You're trying to fight them with these regular army troops. A gladiator is worth three of your guys." And Praetor Glaber said, "Wait a minute, prove it." Then Asher proceeds to straight whoop three legionnaires' butts, 3-1. He beat them down. And Asher said, "And I was the lowest of the group." So what did he do? He went out into the world and found guys who were great warriors, great at killing, great at defending and taking care of themselves. And he brought them back over, paid them a lot of money, and they went out and they started to level out the playing field. But as the story ends, an event happens, and the Roman captain says, "Asher, look, I hear you on that BS. You're gonna have to prove you're down for me." And Asher's like, "Well, maybe it's best that we leave ways." And he says, "Why don't I just take my men and go?" Now he recruited all these men. He was the captain of all these men, and these men had more money and such and so forth. But all the guy from Rome had to do is like, "I'll make a better deal. 1,000 denarii and land." And the guys who were about ready to fight the Roman legion on Asher's behalf put their blades up and looked at Asher like, whatever, because they're mercenaries. There's no honor amongst thieves. There's no honor amongst mercenaries. When it's time to be a free agent, you must do what's in your best interest. Ladies, I want you to ask yourself, on the modern dating scene, are modern women moving like regular army, regular infantry? Are they moving like soldiers? Or are they moving like mercenaries? Soldiers have basic training. You know, that stuff you learn, your basic duties at home, your wifely duties, your duties around the house. Then it don't matter what theater, no matter where you put them, they know how to do the basic stuff. Are modern women moving like soldiers or are they moving like mercenaries? Meaning, I'm a soldier for hire. Any flag will do, and at the end of the day, it's all about me. Where do I get this? I get this idea when I sit around and talk to so many women. And I listen to women pour their hearts out day in, day out. But then when you get right down to the relationship, most of these women have wrecked their own relationships, walked out of it, because many of them were still carrying around traumas or the ghosts of ex-boyfriends past, and they could not deal. They could have great situations looking them right there in the face, but they're still involved with the ex-boyfriend. How do you know if they remember I did? Ladies, a lot of you, this is why these long relationships are stupid. Because you take that long relationship into a new dating environment. Gentlemen, you know just like I know, if a woman has had a long relationship, you don't want to be the relationship that comes after because you're inevitably the rebound. She does not know how to do this stuff. So what ends up happening when the relationship, when life starts to happen, her first instinct, her natural instinct is to become a mercenary and protect herself, defend myself. Am I missing something here? Am I missing something else right here? Please, hey, Carpe Diem, please don't use that term. That's somebody else's term. Respect their intellectual property. That's not my term, so respect their intellectual property. Um, Look, ladies, it is on you to understand that you're moving through life like a mercenary. If fear, scarcity, and lack, anxiety, stress are the ways in which you move through your world, you need therapy. Let's put the acronym out there. Let's put the acronym out there because I often say this thing, but we need to talk about it. We need to talk about it because we're going to talk about three subsets of women that are mercenaries. Three subsets of women that are mercenaries: fear, scarcity, lack, anxiety, stress. FSLAS. F double S. I don't have a word for it. FSLAS. LASS. I don't know what you can spell with that. I don't know what you can spell with that. I don't know what you can spell with that. What can you spell with FSSAL? What can you spell with that? What can you spell with these letters? What can you make out of these words? What can you make out of these letters? F S S A. All right, FSSLA. FSSLA. Fear, scarcity, stress, lack, anxiety. Fear, scarcity, and lack are the three original ones. Fear, scarcity, and lack, but you also need to put anxiety and stress. And if you're moving under the, and fear, scarcity, and lack lead to anxiety and stress. That's how you get there. Fear, scarcity, and lack lead to anxiety and stress, okay? Fear, scarcity, and lack lead to anxiety and stress. And ladies, if you're moving through your day-to-day life and fear, scarcity, and lack, it's going to generate anxiety and stress. And especially when you're that way, you end up starting to turtle in, hunker down, worry about yourself like a mercenary because you're under pressure. And here's the thing, this is not a new concept. When people are under pressure, some people focus, some people fold. And most people, when they're under pressure, revert back to who they really are. That's why this conditional femininity and this new age femininity goes away quickly when a woman gets angry. Fear, scarcity, and lack produces the anxiety and stress response, and there she is. You're a modern mercenary. Who are some modern mercenaries? Well, we already know our favorite modern mercenary.
I'm a PhD.
I'm a PhD. That's why it's your first modern mercenary, the career girl. Career above everything else, fear, scarcity, and lack. Because the structural things that have happened around you got those student loan debts and these careers and all this stuff out of control. And you can't give up control because you can't, because fear, scarcity, and lack. I've already beat this one to death. But I want to talk about the next one. The next one. The next one you're starting to see more of. And it comes in two varieties. It comes in two varieties. But I'm going to talk about the variety you're starting to see more now. You're starting to see the 40-plus-year-old with the young dude. The old wife, young husband. The old wife, young man. We're talking about women who were about 10 to 20 years older than their boyfriends. Now, these are the same women that before they got their boyfriend, they had all the problem in the world with age gap dating. Why? Because older women are not fit to deal with men of their age group because hypergamy, they've got too much stuff going on, and younger men have been, like it or not, the West, men have been born in an entire generation that have taught them that men and women are equal, taught them that women should be revered, that women are better at a lot of things. So it's more natural for a younger man to respect a boss chick's grind. A boss chick's grind. Honestly, I don't see that. I must be under a rock. I don't know how you don't see it. Turn on any social media. Look in entertainment. Look at music or entertainment, and you see women over 40. And you're starting to see more women over 40 strongly, proudly proclaiming their relationships and marrying young men. And here's the thing, I'm good with it as long as you print a retraction and say you've been dead ass wrong to talk about somebody's a cradle robber or whatever. See, I'm not going to call people's names, but there are several names that come to mind right now. And ladies, like it or not, that is backwards. Stella Got Her Groove Back was a movie. What does a 45-year-old woman have to do with a 26-year-old guy? He don't even know who he is yet. But that's moving like a mercenary. And the one way that a woman can do that is she has to have resources. You rarely see a woman that age with a young man unless she is smoking hot and average resourced or well resourced. I have had an older woman. I've been this before. I've talked about this before. When I was in my 20s, I dated an older woman, and I knew exactly what it was. And I benefited from it because she took me places, brought me around people, put me in, I was able to go with her and be in rooms that my resume could not get me into. My intellect could, but I didn't have those connections. But I didn't delude myself and make myself think that there was going to be some long-lasting relationship out of this. But today you'll see a lot of mercenary modern women with younger men trying to act like, no, I finally found my soulmate and I'm in love. On the one hand, I would rather you be with somebody than nobody good for you. My only issue is many of these women tend to be modern womanist feminist types. And these very women were the ones talking about men ain't this, men is trash, men is this, men is that. And now all of a sudden, now you got you a young guy. And now all of a sudden you in love and getting married and everything else. You need to print a retraction. Not for the men. See, we men already knew you were full of crap. You need to put a retraction for these young ladies, okay? They can control a young man. Thank you. But see, the thing is, look, I'm going to be honest. I'm making this point, but I'm not going to stand heavy on this point because, look, what else is a well-resourced middle-aged woman supposed to do? The likelihood of her being able to get with a man who's socioeconomically attractive to her is little to none. Meaning, the older women get, the less they get. So I don't want to see women who were used to dating, athletes, entertainers, musicians, multimillionaires, blah, 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 coming to guys who are six-figure guys with having that previous experience. Because most don't come to it in good faith. But it's still a mercenary move. You got to admit it's a mercenary move. Because they're worried about themselves. Modern women being mercenaries, the issue is mercenaries can't be trusted. Mercenaries are out for themselves. You cannot build a strong national defense with mercenaries. You need a homegrown army that believes in the ideals of the country. So ladies, ask yourself, are you moving like a mercenary? When you're in relationships, are you worried about you? This is the problem I touched on in this whole notion, especially in our community, where dating is not fun in the Black community because there's no trust. There's outright hostility between men and women. And how do you fix that? You ladies are going to have to surrender. You're going to have to surrender. The war is over. You lost. Your side lost.
Winter is coming.
You lost. Now you can either go ahead and admit defeat or you can hold out. But you know what happens to people who hold out? You know what happens to people who hold out? I'm not going to make any of those references because they, but look, you could use any major conflict. You lost. And the only way to have a reasonable shot at a future is to give up the fight, sit down at the table and hammer out a peace treaty. And one of the first things in a peace treaty, especially among the women, is y'all need to walk around, drop this strong, independent, I don't need a man. No, I'm weak, interdependent, and need a man. Strong, weak, independent, interdependent, don't need a man, need a man. Weak, interdependent, need a man. O, weak, W, interdependent, I, need a man, N. That's how you spell win, ladies. Weak, interdependent, need a man. There's the secret to success outside of the 2/3. By the way, 2/3. The secret to life is 2/3. You know what 2/3 means, ladies? 2/3. 2/3. The secret to life is 2/3. 2/3. If you're on Instagram, you know what this is. The secret to life is 2/3. 2/3. 2/3. That's the secret to life. You want to win, ladies? This is what you do. 2/3. What is 2/3? Everybody get your calculators out, ladies. Let's get some math. 2 divided by 3 is 0.6666666666667. Store that in your calculator memory. So let's say you are Jazzy. And Jazzy or Chris Hall or give me another lady's name in here. Give me another lady's name in it. Mika. All you ladies want a man. You want to be 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, and all sorts of. So if you want a man to be 200 pounds, you need to multiply 200 times 0.6666667 And that is the weight of the woman that would appropriately fit that man. 133 pounds. Oh man, that's crap, Kevin. That sucks. No, 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 not really. Because if you look at the average weight of the American male, 178 pounds, 178 pounds times 0.66666667. Back in the day when men weighed 178 pounds, the average weight of the woman was 120. Well, 119. So, like I told this sister the other day, if you're 187, if you're 5'4", the height of the average woman, and 187 pounds, the weight of the average sister in this country, multiply 187 times 1.66666667. 187 pound sister should be looking for a man that's around 311 pounds. Sorry, ladies. 2/3. The number is actually closer to 0.7, but there's no fraction to really represent 0.7 appropriately. Not 0.75, not 0.8, 0.666666 to 0.7. Meaning, let's just say for simple math, you use the same 200-pound thing and you did 0.7. It still gives you 200 pounds times 0.7 is 140 pounds. So 133 to 140 pounds, a 7-pound differential. So if you're 160 pounds, ladies, if you're 160 pounds, I don't care how you frame it, 160-pound woman should be looking for a 272-pound man. Is that right? Is that right? Let me make that. Let me back to that. That don't sound right. You should be 30% more. I'm sorry. My math was off on that. My calculator was on. Yeah, I was talking too fast on that one. 1.3. 208. Sorry, 1.3. So a 160-pound woman should be looking for a man that's 203 pounds. So let's do the 187-pound woman again. A 187-pound woman, even if you use 0.7, oh, he's still 187 times 0.0111. Yeah, he's still 250 pounds. So even if you use 0.7, so a 187-pound woman, you should be looking for a man that's 250 pounds. So when I was talking to that sister the other day, and she was 213 pounds, and I said, ma'am, you should be looking for a man that weighs about a third more than you. Why should I get that? You should be roughly 2/3 the size of a male. 2/3 to 0.7. You should be anywhere from 30% to 33% smaller than a man. Well, that means a guy that's 100, somebody said this. That means that somebody's 170 pounds. That means the woman is going to be too small. 170-pound man, that's still a 113-pound woman. They're still a dress size 4, 2-4. Ladies, bottom line, I've taken a tangent off of this because one of the major reasons that many women do not seem to want to grasp with is your weight is keeping you unmarried. Men know and accept the fact that if they want to make themselves the best possible they can, have the highest chance of landing the best mate for them, they have to get their resources up. But fireplace is running out of fuel. I hate that sound. Guys understand that, look, my income limits the kind of woman I can get. Simple as that. Men know that. Today's world, it does. The world is not like it was when my grandfather and all those guys. But Guys got a longer term. If you're going to sit down at the table as a modern female mercenary, the first thing you must do is you must sit down at the table and negotiate a peace. Then you need to declare a side. In the black community, black women, you need to understand that every other group of women, when it gets right down to it, they happily line up with their men. That's why I keep saying we're all you got. And while it is still available, it will be wise for you mercenaries to stop warring. Because what's starting to happen is the one thing that I think is keeping so many, I said it the other day, the inability to code switch and effectively get inside other communities is keeping a lot of folks who don't want to be together. Black people, if you really could, black men, if you really could integrate and go talk in other communities, a lot would be gone. That's why you always talk about going overseas, such and so forth. You don't have the money to go overseas. Why go overseas when you just go to another neighborhood? Ladies, you ladies need to start acting like men are a requirement. And see, I know a lot of my critics and detractors, like he always preaching doom and gloom and fear, such and so forth. I challenge any of them to sit down and discuss the numbers of it. I don't care what you think about my tone or my method. The bottom line is this Western world is not set up for single, average earning individuals. End of life is who's responsible for that? Your money, your family, and your children. Single men, same issue as single women, except men understand that the streets is what's waiting for them. And I'm gonna say this to the men, like I said, I think it's crazy that many of you guys would be ready, you'd rather go be on the street than learn how to get along. Ladies, is it really got to the point to where you just rather put your 20 up and your 13 rebounds and just say, keep padding your stats? Or do you want to learn how to get along? I'm asking a question. Why are you a mercenary? Why are you just worried about yourself? What has happened to you in your relationships, your personal relationships with men, that has made you a mercenary? And what I notice more often than anything else is it's really not the relationships many of you women have had. It's more your mama, your grandmama, your nanny them. They're filling your head with their stories. But why are you a modern mercenary? And if you're going to be a modern mercenary, what happens when you can't fight no more? There are no old warriors. You got to give up the fight at some point. Here's the thing. The show shut down early on Monday. So I'm going to start taking calls from Monday night show and then on tonight's show, because I think it's a good topic that we got to start looking at the fact that I firmly believe that many women today are being motivated by fear, scarcity, and lack, which produces anxiety and stress. And men, ladies, whether you like it or not, no matter how much men want to be with you or care about you, they're not going to accept you just because you're black, or if you're always anxious and stressed out and in a bad mood. That does not bring a man what he wants. Peace. Men do not want women who are projects. Men want women who enhance our lives. We don't want to have to turn away from our purpose to fix you. So, the question on Monday night, or ladies, are modern women, are you tired of being alone? The question on the table is, modern women, are you tired of being alone? Are you tired of walking through life like a mercenary? And here's another part about being a mercenary. When you're a mercenary, you sleep with one eye open, because some of the things you have to do as a mercenary lends to bad karma and doing wrong by people. Mercenaries have to sleep with one eye open because they end up stabbing, fighting for one side, then turning side, being a turncoat. And if you walk through life like a mercenary, always you can tell people who are mercenaries because they expect the worst, because they've done the worst. Uh-oh, getting a little too real. Getting a little too real on the hill. Well, I didn't have any choice in this. My mom, hey man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Recording in progress.
Because you cannot just decide to be a mercenary and then expect a guy who has his stuff together just to accept you and work with you. Like I asked that one woman, free range chaos women. The video I put out there, the same tag. Are modern women value family or freedom? And if you look at that video I did with that call I had with that woman, she even had to admit, it's like, well, damn, her views on marriage and relationships were given to her by the older women in her family because they had so-called bad relationships. And I'm going to tell you this, those women will tell you they had bad relationships. What they won't tell you is they had bad relationships because they were bad actors. A lot of women back in those days had bad relationships because they were acting badly. They had good men. Heck, I remember my mother and my mother's friends, and I saw women in my neighborhood who I personally knew, neighbors and everything else, who I personally knew had good, decent men wanting to date them. But yet they chose to deal with the knuckleheads and the fools. And then they want to turn around and talk about why shit is so bad. No, you chose poorly. Let's get this going, though. Let's get it going. Call line is open. When you click on the Zoom link, you gotta be prepared. And yeah, and if you just say you don't want to be seen, it needs to be for security reasons. Don't just say you don't want to be seen. Gotta stay on your purpose. Shout out to A-Free. Look, I know a lot of you ladies don't want to be seen, but look. Now, if it's for legitimate security reasons or something like that, I'll listen to it. But for the most part, you need to be here. You need to be here so we can see what's going on. It's not fair that you can jump on here and have a conversation and people just got to listen to your voice. Let's do this real quick and get to it. Let's do this real quick and get to it. Call line is open. You can respond to anything. Are you tired of being alone, or are you a modern mercenary?
Ninguém me ama, ninguém me evita, mesma maneira que você. Minha vida inteira jamais procurarei alguém que ame o meu amar como você. Não tenho medo nem insegurança. O sol nascerá e tu virás.
Sing, Jen.
Tenho confiança na
Can't wait to my
sua
song.
intenção, tão conectada como tendão. Eu tenho confiança na sua intenção, tão conectada como tendão. Acredito em você, sei que tu tenho confiança em você, sem dúvida tu virás. Sei que tu desconectados dia a dia.
This is my new song. You guys ready?
Ya te amo, no te preocupes, yo fui hecha para ti, ya tú sabes. No te olvides, fue creada para ti, ya tú sabes. No lo dudes, mi amor crece como abril. Te amo,
What a beautiful voice.
te amaré. Me cansa el esperar. Ojalá juntos descansaremos dos con ya te amo, que esperanza no pierda, fue diseñada para ti, un día tú verás, mi amor brilla como el mar iluminado, te sentirás, mi amor calma con una brisa del verano.
All right.
Te amo,
Yeah, baby. She can sing.
te amaré.
Jen, you can sing me to sleep any night.
Me cansa el esperar.
Wow. Wow. Just wow. Lisa, you ready? You ready, Lisa? You ready? Go ahead and wave. Hi. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. How old are you?
I'm 50.
All right. So the question is, are modern women mercenaries or are you tired of being alone? Which one are we tackling?
Well, I'm married. I'm married and I'm 50. And I feel that women should not be mercenaries. They should not be alone.
They shouldn't
And
be?
they should be married.
Okay. Then why aren't more women married?
More women are not married because they just don't understand that as women, we weren't put on this earth to be alone. We were put on this earth to be married and to be mothers and to be a helpmate to our
How
husbands.
long have you been married?
15 years.
Yeah, these women would say, yeah, you know what you're talking about. You know what you're talking about. You're an old married woman. Get out of here. You ain't got nothing for us.
Well, that would be their problem.
That's what they're gonna say.
I'm
Um, do
sure.
you do you have any children?
I have 4 stepdaughters and I have one son,
Okay. How old is your son?
11.
Okay. Is You said 4 stepdaughters?
Yes, I'm married to my second husband. He had 4 daughters
Uh-huh.
when we got married, and we had one child together.
Okay. How young is your youngest stepdaughter?
She's 25.
All right. Are they married?
None of my stepdaughters are married at this time.
Well, see, that's what folks gonna say right there. They're gonna say, "Yeah, man, we hear you. We hear you, man. You got your husband, but he came with 4 stepdaughters, and you've been around them for 15 years. Why ain't none of your stepdaughters married?"
None of my stepdaughters are married because 2 are in college, 2 have finished college.
I said your youngest stepdaughter was
My
25.
youngest stepdaughter, she is not married. No,
Okay, but none of them are married.
not at this time.
No, no, no. There's not. They're not married. How old is the oldest stepdaughter?
She's 30.
Ma'am, they are all past the age of marriage.
Yes, they are.
So the question remains: if what you're saying is, if you believe it, and you've been around them for 15 years, so you got around the 30-year-old when she was 15, and every other one you've been around since they were in the 5th grade. Why haven't what you said? Why haven't they followed that? See, this is why young women don't listen to y'all, because you got to answer that. Hello. Hmm. Well, guess that happened. Uh huh. So, you guys need to get on camera in the Zoom room. Start your camera. Start your video, or you can't be in. So, I don't know if she left, but I'm going to assume she left because the connection was just fine. And ladies, I don't mean to be rude, but when you say something like that, I know what women are going to say. And then they're going to be like, all right, well, you got 4 stepdaughters, 25 to 30, and ain't near one of them married. But then you're going to say this is what they should do. Okay, I hear you. How are you getting these stepdaughters who have been around? It ain't like you was married 5 years. Here we go. She's back. I think it's a fair question. I'm just telling you what women are going to hear. Hello.
Yes,
So women,
I can hear you.
okay, you have me on TV or something?
I have you on my laptop, but nothing else is on.
Okay. So young women are going to say, that sounds fine. Why ain't your stepdaughters married?
I believe they're not married because they have not found the person they want to be married to. And you have to understand, there are my stepdaughters. Their mother is also an intricate part of that.
I get it. But when you get on and say women should be something, just like they asked me, are you married? Great. Their mother's an intricate part. Is their mother married?
Yes,
Their mama's married. Their stepmama's married. Their father's married. All of them are single. And what I'm hearing is they got to find somebody. You've been around the oldest stepdaughter since she was 15, the youngest since she was 10. Did you talk to these young women when they were coming up about what kind of men they should be looking for and what they should be doing for a man and how they should treat a
yeah.
man?
The 2 youngers, yes.
All right. So, because a father should be kind of telling a woman what kind of man that would be appropriate for her. But women
Their
should be
father's
telling,
involved.
huh?
Their father's involved in that.
Right. And women should be telling women what they need to be doing for men. So, what are some of the things you told your stepdaughters they should do for a man?
Well, a lot of things I told them is what my mom told me, was that you, before you get married, you make sure that your father's an intricate part of that. My father was. Um, And they also were. We went to church on a regular basis. They were taught that before you go out there, you make sure your father meets every person
All
you
I'm
want to
hearing
date,
about is,
or
okay,
your father is a
ma'am, maybe you didn't hear what I was saying. What I'm asking you is, what did you,
okay. I'm sorry.
as the stepmother, and what did the mother tell these young women what they should be doing
Right.
for a man? What their
Well,
responsibilities are to a man, not what they should
I'm
be
sorry.
looking for. What were they
Right.
taught to be doing for a man? Because here's the pushback. Here's the pushback
Okay.
that women are going to say. Because a lot of women are starting to blame the reason they're not married because of you guys. Because y'all didn't teach them. Because a lot of women are starting to say y'all were too worried about getting your own husbands because you're wrecking your own marriages, that you were worried about getting your own lives together, so you didn't teach us nothing. That's what I'm starting to hear from more young women. So I'm asking women who had daughters or stepdaughters, what did you teach them? Because if if being married is a requirement, and you say it in church and everything else, my personal position is, that makes you a traditional. Did you raise them to be traditional women?
And as far as I'm concerned, I came into their lives when they were 9 and 10,
Yeah.
as you stated. And
Right.
from that point, I did teach
Well, they,
them through action, dealing
well, how
with their
about this?
father and our
Did their
relationship.
mother raise them to be traditional women?
Their mother is younger than me, and I would believe that she taught them what she could. I don't know
Did their
exactly.
husband did their father, your husband, teach his daughters to be traditional women?
Yes,
Okay, stop right here.
because before I came into their lives, his
Stop right
mother
here.
was in their lives before him.
Stop right here.
Okay.
Traditional women, men are not optional. They're a requirement. So whatever the age of the wife, the biological mother, she's still the mother. And the father, if you're talking about church and these kind of things, if the father raised them to be traditional,
Hmm.
and you came along and you put some icing on it, and he had a grandmother, all right, then why aren't these women married? Four of them, 25 to 29, unmarried. And all this church and traditional and everything else, but no men. Based upon the thing you came through the door saying. And people, I want you guys to understand, it's my position that the women of my age dropped the ball. They didn't teach these young ladies. They talked to them. They didn't show them. They said, this is what I think you should do. But they did not get there and do the daily work, day in and day out, like my grandmother and my great grandmother's generation did. My grandmother, my great grandmother's generation, they taught their daughters and granddaughters how to be women. I know my mothers and her sisters learned all their domestic stuff through my grandma. I can see that they learned it because I see how my grandmother did it, and I see how all of her daughters did it. In their homes, they're still structured the same way. It's all from the same blueprint. They learned it. Now, they will tell you they outright rebelled against finding a husband. And my aunts, bless their soul, regret it to this day. My mother stopped fighting it and she was able to be married. But if you don't, they're not being taught, they're being told in church and this and that. Who's teaching these girls on a daily basis? The things you say that they need to have. Do you agree with any of that? Do you disagree? What?
I agree. I agree. Because my mother was 36 when she had me and my twin sister, and
Mhm.
she was 40 when she had my younger sister. And my father was 4 years older than her. So they were that generation of your grandmother, my mother, they were older. And so my mother taught me about being married. My father uh, really helped me find my first husband.
Right.
And
Thank
then,
you. So you know what I'm talking about. So let's just
yes,
go
I
right
do.
there. So right there, did these girls get that? You've been around 15 years, man. You can give me your best guess. I didn't hear you. I'm not looking, so I need a verbal
I'm
confirmation.
sorry, I didn't hear your question. I'm
Did,
sorry.
did these
I didn't hear the last
did
part.
those girls get what your father what you got?
From their father, the two younger ones.
I'm not making that I'm not making that distinction. From all the adults
Okay.
around them.
No.
Thank you. End of story right there. So when you
Right.
come in and say that I think women should be this and they should be that for whatever reason, young women are sitting back saying, "How dare you tell me that when y'all ain't teaching us this?" All the women who got it, like you, and the women
Mm-hmm.
like your generation, y'all all got it, but y'all didn't teach it. Then you're telling them that's what they should do. That's why a lot of these women are angry
I
because
understand.
y'all didn't teach them. So I'm asking this question on several layers. One, because you got it. Two, because you actually have four stepdaughters that you have a impact on.
Yes, sir. Hmm.
So do you do you and the mother do you and their mother have any kind of relationship? Are y'all cordial?
We're cordial. Me and
All
their
right.
grandmother has more of a better relationship, which is
Who
my
is worried
mother-in-law.
about getting these girls married?
I am, and their grandmother is.
Why? Let's just say, okay, why ain't their daddy and their mama?
That's a good question.
That's
I talk with my husband
that's
about
a
it.
family. And here's the thing: I'm coming at this. This is a family. Johnsons and Smiths. I don't care. You got adults on this side, adults on this side, children on this side. My position, based on what you said, you got four girls who weren't taught, and this is what tended to happen. This is a good call because the adults were so in their bullshit that they couldn't give the girls what they needed, and the girls are just out here making it up. And even at this age, 50, your husband, their father, their mother, your cordial, you can't honestly say nobody's actually teaching these girls anything. They're just out here.
And there's another point I would like to interject
Go ahead.
if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What if they haven't shown, some of them haven't shown that they even want to be married?
What did you teach them about marriage? What did you as a stepmother and the elder teach these young women about marriage that they should want to do it? How have you made marriage look
According
to
to,
these young women? This is a fair question. What did the
hmm
adult women around these children teach these young ladies that they should want to do it?
well, the only thing I can answer to that is that, as far as I'm concerned, my relationship with my husband, making sure there's a family unit and that that we make sure they understand how we interact with each other, me and my husband.
But that's from a child's
Um,
place. That's from a child's
right.
place.
From a young
But
adult
here's the thing.
woman.
But here's the thing. You were around them from the age 9 to 14 or 15. And these
Right.
young girls don't get taught. They get, at best, kind of shown.
Right.
Honestly, can you
I
sit
agree
back and
with that.
can you honestly sit back and say that you or the mother or the women you've ever sat down and had a one-on-one conversation and told daughter A, B, or C, A, B, C, or D, A, this is why you should get married. This is what a wife's duty is to a husband and her family and her children. This is the benefit of being married. This is the obligation. This is the requirement. This is why, and this is why it's a great thing. This is why it's necessary. This is why. Have you ever had a conversation like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I have.
At what age?
18 with the youngest one.
Okay. So at 18 with the youngest one, I got to ask, why not the other three?
The other three, the older ones, I was not around them as much.
Mhm.
Just the two younger ones.
And what I'm trying to show is when families get fractured, adults tend to worry more about getting their shit, and the kids are left to fend for themselves. Doesn't make you not a good people, but the fact of the matter is, I know how young ladies are going to hear this. And it's like, well, they're not showing the aptitude to want to be married. Well, damn it, that's the adult's problem. Y'all, you grown ass women didn't teach them. You didn't show them anything. They're showing strong, independent, don't need no men. Men are to be feared. Men are to be avoided. Men are not required like they were in traditional lives. We're old enough to remember, ma'am, when girls used to actually be excited to have boyfriends.
Yes,
Well, god damn it. I mean, excuse my French, but why aren't these young ladies feeling the same way? Because they didn't get taught that men are valuable. That's
I
our fault.
agree.
That's our fault as a generation. It's our fault. And as men, we have to hold that. But you ladies are going to have to hold y'all's part of it too. And here's the problem. And I'm going to set you to the side because I don't personally know you. So I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying this to you. So I'm going to move you over here. But it has been my experience, especially in the Christian church. Far too many of our women are walking around with their church hat on like they earned it. And
Oh
you
my
ain't,
God, yes.
women ain't earned this damn church hat. My grandmother earned her hat. My great grandmother earned her hat. Many women in my generation is just fucking wearing a hat like you earned it. You ain't done the fucking work. Because you judge the woman by the product. And what are the daughters? You can judge my grandmother by her daughters. They learned whether or not they did anything with something else, but they learned it. These young women don't even know. I see young ladies who don't. Oftentimes, I'm having to teach women. I have to take young ladies to somebody to teach them how to walk in heels. I'm having to teach women in etiquette classes how to sit in a skirt.
I
And,
agree.
and this
I
is
went
why
through
so
every
many
time, all
young
of them.
women, this is why so many young women are frustrated because they were left to be wild, free, no structure, no discipline. Well, I don't want to say this because it ain't my child and I can't overstep this boundary. French toast that. I bet in our generation, I wish I would have heard us talk, the adults around us talk like as weak as we talk. Mr. Jenkins, Mr. Johnson, anybody could whoop your ass along the street.
That's
We
true.
had, so why don't we do it that way? Because we were worried about getting into these jobs, corporate America, da 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 da, and being independent. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. We didn't stay. And then just because we learned it a little bit later on in life, this next generation didn't get it. Like I said, you've been together 15 years at 50 when the previous generations had been together at 25 or 30. We don't
Hmm.
prioritize relationships. And why am I hanging out in this call? Because it is going to be incumbent upon Generation X women to be honest with millennials and zennials and tell them we failed you, ladies. We're sorry. We failed you. We did our best, but our best wasn't good enough. It's on you guys to apologize to them, not us. We got to deal with the men. Y'all got to apologize to them and fix it. And the biggest thing you do by fixing it is telling them we were wrong. We told you. We didn't show you. You tell somebody how to bake a pie, but you show them how to make dough, how to pinch the dough. That's what we're missing. So good conversation, good back and forth. And the reason I pushed is because I know what young ladies are going to say. They're going to say, well, wait a minute. How that's supposed to happen? So anything you like to say before we wrap up though?
Only other thing I want to say was that I agree with what you were saying earlier about the weight of like a woman's weight should be 1/3 of her husband or the man she's interested in.
Wow,
I just know that my husband is 6'3", 230 pounds, and when I stand behind him, you can't see me.
good. Disappear then. Have a good day,
It
Lisa. Bye
was
bye.
good talking to you. Bye
Bye bye.
bye.
That was a good call. That was a good call. I think that could be a lot of work can be done with that call because. All right, Mimi, how are you?
I'm well. Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
I can. How old are you?
38.
38. What do we got? We're talking about what's that going on in the background? TV. Are we talking about modern women? Are you tired of being alone? Are we talking about modern mercenaries? What are we doing?
Uh, well, I wanted to, so when you said modern mercenaries, I wanted to understand how are you defining the modern mercenary?
Mercenary. Okay. What would you define as a mercenary? Are you familiar with the term?
I mean, yes, I do. That would be someone the way I would look at it is
Mhm.
someone who's coming in for the kill, you know, that's abrasive, with an agenda,
No,
etc.
no. A
That's
mercenary is
how
a
I
soldier.
perceive.
A mercenary is basically a soldier for hire, no loyalty. A mercenary, a person primarily concerned with making money at the expense of ethics. A professional soldier hired to serve a foreign army.
So women
No
are
loyalty,
uh,
concerned with themselves.
no, okay.
They'll fight for you. Okay, imagine the United States went to war, and let's say the United States went to war with China. Okay, and China was invading the United States. Let's just say that could happen. You'd fight to defend your homeland because it's your homeland. Let's say we started to run out of troops and we started going to Australia and Canada and England and bring some mercenaries over for this. We got to pay them to do that, right?
I'm trying to get the correlation for
The
how
correlation is you're not loyal to anything except yourself, to your outcomes. I laid it out in the monologue. A mercenary is loyal to themselves. And when pressure hits, mercenaries tend to be the first people to leave the war.
so
Are
when
women
when
are
is the
women are
where's the
modern women
line?
acting loyal to relationships?
I find that I can
Are
see
they are
I
they
can
act-
see that. I can,
but are modern women that started out with the video I put up today with asking the question, do modern women want family or freedom?
I see so many women sacrificing pretty much everything to be with someone, at a point of desperation for it to be.
Where do you live?
I live in the US.
What state? It's not a game.
I live in Georgia.
Okay. 1 in 4 black women are married.
Hmm.
Before 1965, we had a marital rate of 80%.
Right.
Okay. Why aren't black women marrying today?
Options are so limited.
Bullshit.
You think so?
Bullshit. 54% of black men are single and childless, 61% in the middle class. You must be new to my show.
I'm definitely new. I
Yeah,
just heard
well, I'm
about
sorry.
intro.
So,
Is
ma'am,
that why is
what
that
you
bad?
what you're saying is talking points that have been disproven. You can go to blackdemographics.com, black statistics by black people for black people, and see the marriage numbers.
I would like
50,
to learn. That's why I came. I heard
54% of
great things
50.
about you.
Okay,
So
50.
that's
Well,
why
one
I'm
of the
coming.
things you don't do. One of the first things you don't do is you don't overtalk me. So if I'm talking, you can't talk through. It's bad for the listeners. But if you say lack of options, that's bull. 54% of black men are single and childless, and 61% are in the middle class.
So there's a high population of men that are single and there's a high population of women that are single.
You missed it. You no. See, what you did is you just tried to deflect. I
I'm trying
asked
to
you, no,
understand.
no,
Is that a
no.
is that
One
what
out, black women marry at a rate of 1 out of 4. The next lowest group of women is 54%. It's not a hold on, listen. It is not a lack of men wanting to marry. It's a lack of black women wanting to marry. You're coming at it from the side that the issue is with men, and it's not.
I don't agree. I don't think it's a men issue either. I don't. I definitely
Well,
don't.
then, okay. Why aren't black women marrying anybody then?
My perspective, and this is just my perspective, and if it's been disproven, you can correct me where I'm wrong. My question is, my perspective is that it seems as if everybody's out here just trying to figure it out, both men and women. There's a high population of men that are single. There's a high population of women that are
No,
single. And
it's
or
not. Okay, ma'am, your perspective is not based. Okay,
is that not
look,
what
look, ma'am,
you just
look.
gave me? I'm sorry.
Listen, no, I don't know. I've said that once. The numbers, ma'am, the
Hmm.
numbers.
Hmm.
Black women marry at a rate of 26%. That means 1 out of 4 black women could ever expect to be married.
Hmm.
The next lowest group of women marry at a rate of 54%. That's over half. That's white women. They're not trying to figure it out in this modern world. They know, their women know that their best chance of getting to the end of life and quality of life is with a husband, not a boyfriend, not a long term relationship, a French toast husband.
Hmm.
But today, 80% of black children are married to fatherless homes.
That's a
So that's a woman choosing to have a baby before the benefit of marriage. It is 100% her choice to carry that child. Black women on this show will tell you, I've been engaged 2, 3, 4, 5 times. But when asked, why aren't you married? Like, how old are you?
38.
Why are you married or single?
I'm single.
Any children?
I don't.
No.
No, I don't.
Why are you not married?
I've been in a relationship, my current one, for the past 3 years. So we've
But you're
discussed.
almost four. But you're almost 40.
I am.
Why aren't you not married? Why are you not married?
I mean, that is something I know that what I've done, and admittedly, I can say is a failure on my part in my upbringing, is that I've always put work ahead of a relationship and
Okay,
other
so
things.
are you more than okay? And do you think you are more typical of black women, or do you think you're more the norm or more the abnormal?
I'm pretty sure I'm in the average range.
Well, then if
I
that's
don't,
the case,
I don't,
so if that's the case, you just proved my point.
what's
38 years old, and
mhm,
you said your career. Did you go to college?
I did.
You have a master's, bachelor's, master's, what?
I studied in healthcare, and so yeah, I would just say
You have a bachelor's, master's, PhD, what?
bachelor's,
Huh?
bachelor's.
Bachelor's. And so, and what is your career?
I'm not in that industry. I don't want to talk about my work field on
No,
here.
no, no,
But
ma'am. That's this show. That's this show. That's
what?
this show. I'm only asking you, ma'am. I'm only asking you what can be seen on LinkedIn. I'm not asking you about your money. But if you said I put my career ahead of relationship,
Then, oh,
you said I put my career above relationship, and I'm just
did.
going to ask you what the career is.
I did. I worked in telecommunications.
So did I. I was in. Trust me,
Okay, so
telecommunications.
my
So
thing
bottom
is,
line, ma'am, don't
I'm telling
overtalk
you
me.
that if it's okay, if it's okay,
No, it's not okay. You can't overtalk me. I've said that 3 times, so you've been muted. You won't overtalk me. That's just won't happen. So what we're seeing is somebody say they want to learn, who don't know what they're talking about, and then when you just ask them basic questions, the defensiveness, and at 38 years old, what career? Ma'am, all you have to do is back it down and not overtalk me. But I'm running a show. And you can either you want to. I don't think you want to do this path. I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to help. Stop with the frowning of the face because it's not going to look too good for you. So you might want to just take a second to chill it out. You just can't over. You can unmute yourself if you choose to. Not, ma'am. I'm trying to run a show. Talk to you. And almost 18,000, 17,000 people in here. You said your career. Are you an executive?
Director level.
Director level. As someone who has been vice president level, I see more professional, unmarried black women, but, but being a director does not preclude marriage. I've seen plenty of directors and VPs who are female who are married. The majority of the people above director are married. True or false?
I haven't looked up the stats for that, so I don't want to misspeak.
Okay, let's just look in your organization. Is it the norm that people director or higher are unmarried?
When I do my analysis, everybody seems to be married.
In your
In
observation
my
of the
in my
observer
in
of
my
your
leadership, in my chain of leadership,
thank you.
in
Thank
my
you. My point is career does not preclude marriage. This
I
is a
would
black this is what and this is what we do on this show. We look at the facts, the figures, the data, the statistics, and then we take and mirror against the popular talking points. You came in saying that the reason your guess for why black women weren't married because of lack of candidates. That's simply not accurate. It's not accurate, it's not precise, it's not true. It's more the norm that black women go to college and focus on themselves until they're 30 plus years old. And then after 30, they decide they may want to possibly have a serious relationship that leads to marriage one day with children. But by this time, most of you are your age inappropriate for marriage. Because sadly, many have children by that time. Just look at the numbers.
may I speak?
Sure.
I don't know how to. I want to. First of all, I want to say that I was recommend. I heard about your show, and this is like the first time I've ever, or so probably the second or third time I've done an internet thing. So I'm not very familiar with this. I do respect your show. So if it did come across as if I wasn't, I do apologize. So I do want to start off by saying that. Secondly, I'm just here to understand more. So I didn't research anything prior to this.
Well,
I
what we can do is if you were in telecommunications, I spent the first 10 years of my career in telecommunications sales. I've spent 20 years in sales. I've been in corporate America until I was in advertising and started my own agency. Bottom line is this, man. The things that black women hold out as reasons for not getting married don't stop other races of women.
Yeah, the point that I was trying to make was that I I know the mistake that I personally made and the things that I was doing. So I have full accountability into what the reasons why I'm not married, So
Okay.
I didn't come up at the beginning of me saying that was I made the mistake of really over prioritizing my work and thinking of trying to be the stereotypical things that you hear
Let,
about what young women try to
let me
do.
stop you right here. That is the very definition of being a mercenary.
Right. So there was
So, so this may be new to you. Watch the program. You're going to find out that you're right in line with so many other women who, at this point in life, are trying to figure it out when you prioritize career. You can't, it's really difficult to turn around and decide to want to be a traditional or even a wife when you spent your life worrying about you. This is why we have this song. I'm a PhD. You have a dog? Do you own a dog or a cat? Do you own a pet?
I don't.
All right. Well, you're going to find out that you're pretty much in line with a lot of women in professional career, but at the end of the day, long relationships, no marriage. You have a 3-year relationship, and do you want to be married one day?
I'm not for certain. I don't know. I'm not. I don't think so.
That you want children?
I don't think so.
All right. Well,
I'm not for
by the
certain.
time so no children, no husband. By the time you reach 65, are you going to have your roughly $2.4 million to retire on cash?
Well, I'm blessed to say that I have a wonderful family that I came from.
No, 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 no. I'm asking, are you, so through your own efforts as a single individual, are you going to be able to pay for your rest of your life when you're no longer working? Not what somebody else did for you.
I mean, I'm self-sustaining. I can say that. I'm not.
No,
I
no,
don't know
no,
if I'm
no.
going to be a
Okay.
multi-billionaire
No,
and a
ma'am. No,
millionaire. I'm
no,
not
no,
sure if
no,
there's
no,
something
no, 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 no. Ma'am,
What are you
it has
saying?
nothing to do with a multi-billionaire. This is simple math.
Uh-huh.
If you cannot work and you have no family, no children, if a man cannot work, right? He has no money to pay for anything. He runs out of money. Where will he end up?
I mean, that wouldn't be something I
Where
really.
will a man end up? No money, no family.
Why would he have? Why if someone
Ma'am, where? Okay, I'm going to ask you one more French toast. See, this is one thing I don't do. You don't answer a question with a question. That's rude. You have to know better than that.
I'm not for certain.
Okay, ma'am, if a man has no money, no family, no kids, and runs out of money, where's he going to be? In a nice home, fully fed, or is he going to be homeless?
He's going to be destitute.
Destitute is another word for what? Homeless.
Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
All right, so anybody in that position who runs out of money
Uh-huh.
and has no family,
Uh-huh.
no children, is going to end up where?
Is that what?
Is going to end up where?
Who knows? I'm
Is
not.
going to end. No, that's bullshit. See, there's no who knows. This is what I mean. This is the problem. The logic just won't go through. Nope, nope, absolutely not. Y'all see it right here. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't answer that question. I don't understand. A man will end up on the street. A man will be destitute, but me, I don't know. No one's listening to you. We've heard enough. We've heard enough. We're going to move on to somebody else who wants to have a conversation. Live in your fantasy land. This perfect example of the modern mercenary cannot deal with reality, refuses to deal with reality. When given an opportunity to answer a question, it'll be shame, insults, guilt that need to be right, and just sit around, blah, 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 blah. Well, I don't know what's going to happen. It could happen with anybody. They could end up on the. And see, that question I start asking women, I don't care how you figure it out, what you going to do without kids and a husband, and you run out of money. That bothers women like her because she knows just like a man what was she gonna be on the street, and she cannot imagine a world where that blonde hair is gonna be on the street. She can't imagine a world where she's gonna be sitting around and somebody ain't gonna take care of it. Well, I got news for you. The street takes blondes, brunettes, raptor claws, all of that. You got. I saw a woman on the corner out right here with a blonde hair. I'm like, how you blonde and homeless? How that work? So there you go. Okay, I muted you, man, because you had a little bit too much background noise going on. I don't understand how that works, sir. I don't. I come from a family that's well. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Okay, you got too much noise going on, Janae.
Oh, I got too much noise.
Yeah, how are
Hi.
you? Yeah, let's try to. Do you have me going on in the Bluetooth or something in the car?
No,
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 28.
Are you in the car alone?
No.
Yeah, there's too much noise. I'm getting mute. I'm getting background. Getting background. So try to put me on either headset or I can't do that. Lachey, then Karen, then Terry, then Tati, then Nikki. Nikki. Lachey, go ahead.
Hi,
Hello.
Kevin.
How are
Yes,
you?
hi. Fine. How are you?
Good. Let's woosah and start all over again. Woosah.
Right. That was fun.
All right. So, what are we doing here? We're talking modern women. Tired of being alone or modern mercenaries?
Yes, actually, I agree. But I also have like a rebuttal. I think there's like mercenaries on both sides with both men and women. I don't
Hmm.
think nobody's loyal.
How old are you?
I'm 34.
I'm going to ask you a question. Why do you ladies? Does that make your life? Does that change one bit of your outcome? Saying, but he did it too. I don't know why you
You
ladies do that. Why I don't know. I don't know how that changes the conversation. Saying, well, men do it too. It's called whataboutism. Why do y'all? Why do? Why is that relevant? That they're mercenaries on
because
both sides?
because then it doesn't it goes both ways in order for it to
No,
work.
no, it doesn't.
No.
Without us, you have nothing. See, without your
Okay.
men, you are vulnerable to the environment. See, that's the problem. You're not my equal.
True.
You
I
have any
agree.
children?
I do.
How many?
I have four.
Any boys?
One.
Where is he at in the birth order?
The last one. He's the
Okay.
baby.
Oh Jesus.
No.
So you got three older sisters. You're single?
Yes.
How many different fathers?
Uh, Three.
Okay. So by my math, by the way I do math,
Yeah.
the guy you lost your virginity to would have been your husband, number one. Then you got
Right.
one, two, three different fathers of four children. So you'd have been married four times by now. Do you want to be married?
I do.
Okay, so you're looking for a fifth husband.
No.
Virgin, one, two, three kids, four. So just like I put the video up the other day with
Right.
today with the sister with three kids, mother
Right.
three is a good deal. And we get back to this whataboutism. How does that change the facts on the ground for you?
Yeah, that I still remain the same. I still, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Uh,
So
uh,
I'm always curious as to why you didn't choose to marry any one of the men you had kids with.
it wasn't a choice. The first one, I was too young. Second one, proposed.
How old is your oldest child?
I was a teen mom. So this is 19.
How old were you? She bounced off. All right. So yeah. Boy howdy. Virgin, husband one. Every baby daddy counts as a husband. So start telling these ladies, hey, you looking for a fifth husband? What?
Hello.
Hello, Karen. How are you?
Yes. Hey, Kevin. I never get to catch you live because I'm always at work.
Okay.
My values are a lot aligned with yours. And I started listening to you because I have two sons. One's 37. I'm
Uh-huh.
61, by the way. One's
Okay.
37 and one's 25. I've been on both ends of the spectrum, and I was not married. The first
Uh-huh.
child I had at 23, and for me, that was too early to be
Mm-hmm.
pregnant. And a lot of it may have had to do with just me. Like sometimes you say my parents were divorced, but the thing that resonated with me when I saw one of your videos on my way to work today, I'm a nurse, by the way, I have a BSN, and
Hold on, let
you
me
talk
ask you. You
about,
said you were 23 when you had your first child?
yes, not
Well,
married,
you were
not
married.
planned,
Okay, hold on,
scared
hold on,
to
hold on, hold
death,
on. Hold on. But you were not married.
not married.
So
And
why do you
then
say you were hold on, let me ask you, why would you say you were too young if you were not married?
because I was not prepared. Even though I
Okay.
had a big gram, I got 5 aunties. My grandmother had 13 kids. And my aunts, like you said, like I said, I'm in line with a lot of your values, but some of the things that you say, I don't like. Second, like today, like just earlier, you spoke about, and I have 2 boys, 125, 137. First one's married, just had a second baby. My 25-year-old is not interested because he can't seem to, because he works extremely hard. He's a plumber.
Man, do me a favor. Do me a favor. I know you're trying to get it all out, but let's gotta stay concise. What don't you agree with?
I don't agree with when you told a woman on an earlier broadcast that she wasn't prepared to be a wife. I don't think anybody, when I think
What
of
was the
myself as,
context? Oh no, hold on, man. You got to tell me what the context was. Who was this woman?
okay,
What broadcast?
I'm sorry, I don't know what broadcast it was. It was like a month ago. But anyway, you
Okay,
were
so hold on, stop right there. You can't do that. You can't
okay.
come
Then
in
I
and say, man,
apologize.
I don't agree with you, sir. Something you said about a month ago with no context.
Okay, you're right. You're totally right. But I just want to say this. I am, and the second time when I had my second son, I got married at 35. I was prepared to be a wife. Had my
Okay,
second child
let me
at
stop
30.
you right here. Let me stop you right here.
Hmm.
What preparation does a female need to be a wife?
Let me tell you, for me, it was first, I got myself into intense therapy when I was pregnant the first time because I knew I wasn't prepared.
No,
And
no.
then
Let me stop you. I'm going to clean slate you. I'm going to
okay,
snap my fingers and go 1,000 years ago. What
okay.
preparation does a female, not you, a
Hmm.
female
Hmm.
need to be a single, solitary man's wife?
They need to, first of all, they need to realize that they do want to, do you want to get married? Yes, I want to get married. Then you get the information. There's a lot of information for these
No,
young
there's not a lot of information, man. That's no.
Kevin.
Stop. No,
Can I
no,
say
don't Kevin
something?
me. No, no, that's not what
Okay.
we do.
Okay.
Prior to 1945, there was
Hmm.
prior to 1940s, there was no such thing as dating.
True. My grandfather made my mom.
So,
Go ahead.
so, so,
Hmm.
so, if dating didn't exist, why didn't the previous thousands and thousands of years of generations of human beings need to get all this damn coursework done before they got married? You haven't said what a female needs to
I'm getting
be.
ready to tell you. I'm
No,
getting ready
you
to
need
tell
to
you right
tell.
now.
No, 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 no. I need you to tell me now. What does she need other than knowing she wants to be married? What else?
She needs to learn how to be intuitive to her man, and she needs to know how to cook, know how to clean, know how to listen, and like you said earlier, rub the feet, write the
Okay, then
letter,
stop
be
right
a
there.
prince of
Stop
peace.
right there.
Be a
Stop
prince
right
of
there.
peace.
No, you can't overtalk me, man. You can't overtalk me.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Everything you said, you can learn that by the age of 16.
Kevin, in this day and age, I'm
I
an
don't give a shit
advocate.
about this day and age. No. That's one of the problems we have right now. I don't care if you agree with me that you talk about listening, you're not listening. Don't justify what you did because you weren't ready, because you got a baby. Ladies, stop letting these women, these old women tell you that y'all need to go get all this damn work and preparation to be married. Anything you're going to learn from to be married, you need to learn it from your husband. There's some basic training you need. Are you feminine, beautiful, inspirational, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive? Do you have a willing spirit and agreeable nature? Are you willing to respectfully cooperate, meaning submit? Then after that, cleaning, cooking, that's some basic shit. Basic stuff. Women should come with the basic skills. And you got these old women telling you guys that you need a fucking NASA computer engineering degree to be married because they fucked up. Wrong. It ain't that complicated. Human beings have never been this complicated. And I get tired of hearing black women babble on about all this preparation when your preparation you need to learn how to listen. That's the preparation you needed, to learn how to close your mouth and open your ears. That's why these young ladies don't listen to y'all, because y'all babble at them. I needed to have this and did it. I want you to go back to the conversation I had with the 50-year-old woman. The reason a lot of these women don't get it is because young women in my generation were too busy trying to live their own damn life, having babies and not teaching the next ones, and then waiting until in their 30s and 40s to finally get a fucking clue. I stand on what I said to the first woman. Man, nobody listening. You've been muted a long time. You just talking to yourself. I told you you can't overtalk me. I said that a long time ago. Tati, go ahead. You can do that to your husband. You can't do that shit to me. Tati, unmute yourself. Mickey, well, Tati's trying to figure it out. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Kevin? Nice to
I'm
see you.
well.
Nice to be here.
Likewise. What do you got for me? Modern women are dating
Well,
mercenaries, or are you tired of
I
being
see
alone?
that you're well, you said the word you used is mercenary,
Mm-hmm.
but that's kind of cool. Like like Boba Fett, like
How old are
so
you?
you can't make it too
How
cool
old are
for
you?
us, you know what I mean?
How old are you?
Mercenary, I know what you said, but
How old are you?
I am 26.
All
I'm
right.
26.
We got to kind of stay on task. What are you here to discuss?
Okay. Well, I wore my good guy shirt, because I saw a video. In the context of the video, you were comparing women to a car. So I wore my good guy shirt, but I guess, I don't know. I don't know. My question for you, it really is, because a lot of women you say aren't fit to be married, right? Like, a lot of women aren't fit to be married. So what do you think about that? Do I have a man?
Stop talking!
Do I want to get engaged one day? Probably. But is that going to happen? I'm not sure.
Danger Zone!
Woo, Lord have mercy. Tati, you got to unmute yourself. I've asked you that several times.
Can you hear me now? Oh, okay.
There you go.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What do you got for me?
Um, I just started
Oh,
watching your show.
first off, how old are you?
I'm 23.
Kind of young for this. You're kind of
I,
young for this. So, do you have a question?
I just wanted to know, is it too early to start getting married now, or should
Uh,
I?
no, no.
Because right now, I'm just focused on my career, as being a nurse, but I wanted to know,
Why? It's a job. It's not a career. It's a job.
is a job?
Unless you plan on being the director of nursing, it's a job.
But
Now,
I'm also
no. It's a job.
okay,
80% of people have jobs. You have a job. Stop calling it a career. One of the first things we need to stop doing is aggrandizing and speaking in such grandiose terms. I meet more people who call themselves CEOs, and they only got one employee, and it's them, and they've been in business for 3 years. You're not a goddamn CEO, man. It's a job.
okay, it's a job.
So, do non-black nurses have husbands?
Yes,
Do non-black women start getting married at age 23?
yes.
Then what's the question?
Um, it's nothing really. I just enjoy watching your show,
Okay,
and
well,
that's
I appreciate it, but I'm trying to get to the see. It's not a job. It's not a career. It's a job. And 23 in our community, people will tell you you're a baby. Nope, you're marrying age, provided you know what being married is and you are a wife. That's more what I think you should be worrying about. Not marriage is not just a ceremony. What do you do for a man? A marriage is a job, and it's the most important job you'll have, not a nurse. And it comes
right.
with a job description and a list of things you're supposed to do from day one. So I'm gonna get back to the next person because you're a little bit young. Thank you for watching. Uh, Peace out. And I say that to everybody, folks, that I meet more people who are like, the CEO of Boss Dude Enterprises. No, you got a job. All right, you back? Your phone dropped?
Yes, it's storming my way. So
All
sorry.
right. So it's storming like Norman. So you have three children
Yes. No,
and
four
four
children.
children from three different guys. And I asked you, why did you choose to marry any of the children's father? You said the first child, you were young. How old were you when you had your first child?
15.
All right. How old were you when you had your last child?
31.
How old is your youngest?
2.
Why didn't you? How long were you with the 2-year-old's father?
It's not gonna make sense. Yeah, it's not gonna make sense.
How
It's
long were you with the 2-year-old's father?
2 years.
Why didn't you marry him?
Um,
Okay, let's skip all the way to the end. Let's skip all the way to the end. Man, why are you requiring marriage now?
I'm not requiring it now. You asked
Okay.
if I would like to be married, and I would.
Okay. I guess you're right. It's not requiring, but why would you like to get married now? I guess that's the better way to ask the question. Why would you like to get
Uh,
married now? Because I mean, to be fair, you've had
right.
4 kids, and you're 30 what again? 35?
4.
34?
Yes.
It's a lot of kids for a 34-year-old.
It is. It is.
Well, why marry? But why would you like to be married now?
I wanted to be married then.
Okay.
I don't think that people, the timing it wasn't right for everybody. But
What do you mean the timing wasn't right?
so the man who proposed to me, he was a Army vet, and he suffers from PTSD, and he proposed, but then he also retreated. So I would have been
Is he
married.
one of the fathers of your children?
Yes, he's the father of one of my daughters.
Stop. So the timing was right for babies.
That
part. See, y'all. I mean, I'm gonna just say this in particular, our women. Y'all take being a wife far more seriously than being a mother.
Yeah.
And it's not just you. Y'all will sit around and have you're like probably the 20th woman I've talked to with 4 children who will tell me that getting married is like a serious thing, but being a mama ain't.
Definitely is. Yeah, definitely is.
All right, so if you had your first child at 15, I'm just asking a question from the fella standpoint. From 15, did you go to college?
Yes.
Did you graduate?
Yes.
Bachelor's, master's, associates, PhD, what?
Associate.
In what?
Medical assistant.
Medical assistant?
Yes.
All right. So is that what you still do right now?
I'm a phlebotomist now.
All right. So you're middle class.
Yes.
All right. So as a middle class woman, it's fair to say that you don't make enough money to have 4 children.
Right.
Why did you have the second one?
That's who I thought I was getting married to.
But why not be sure and go down the aisle and get the ring and the certificate? Why is that a good? Do you have a daughter?
Yes.
So if your daughter thinks she's going to marry a man, you'll tell her to go ahead and start having kids.
No. I don't.
Then why? Because men really want to know, why do y'all think, hey, I want to marry you. Okay, let me go ahead and get pregnant. Why?
Right. Yeah, no, I was pregnant, then he proposed, and I thought we were going to get married, but he just wasn't
No, you were pregnant before he proposed.
Yeah, I said
so
that.
That's not who you thought you were going to marry.
But I did. He just didn't propose yet. We were
But
talking.
but that doesn't. Okay, see, no.
I know. I was young. I know. I didn't have a mom. I know that's not an excuse.
You're not young, man. You're not young. How old were you when you had this kid?
Her 21. 20.
Man.
Yeah.
Okay. So due respect, at what point do you think you should stop having children?
I should have. I know. I
No,
know.
no, I'm asking you, at what point do you think you should stop?
Oh, I'm done now. The second child, I should have been done. Yes.
Okay, but
Yeah, but I, yeah,
so if you don't get married,
yeah,
I'm gonna ask you the
yeah.
same question I'm asking everybody else.
I know.
65 comes. How you gonna get to the end of life?
Yeah,
Yep.
right.
How?
Yeah, I know I need a man. I know I need a husband. It's not like I'm just like out
No,
here
you
trying
need,
to have.
no, what you're saying right now is you need somebody else's money, which is fair. But
Oh,
what you haven't said is what he's going to get for providing you security.
uh, well, I'm a FBI.
Huh?
Loyal. I'm not a mercenary. So,
What?
uh, you said you're because the topic was about mercenaries. So I'm like, I'm
Yeah,
loyal.
well,
I'm
yeah,
not.
you're a mercenary, man. You're definitely moving in your own best interest.
Oh my.
You're moving in your own best interest above everybody else.
Oh my. That's not fair.
It is fair. It's man, you have 4 kids from 3 different guys.
I know.
All right,
I
and you're
would.
talking about, and I asked you if you don't get married and you reach retirement age and you can no longer work, physically you can earn not another dollar, how are you going
Right.
to pay for yourself from 65 to 85?
I mean, hopefully my stocks pay off, but
Your what?
you know,
Hopefully your what's
uh,
paid off?
like my stocks pay off. I'm
Your
invested in stocks pay
stocks
off.
pay off. So
Yeah, like, but
hold
of
on,
course I
hold
know
on,
I need
hold
a husband.
on.
Oh,
We don't ever talk me, man.
I'm sorry.
See, when the truth starts coming out, y'all start wanting to overtalk. What do you mean your stocks?
Like I have investments in stocks, and I'm saying hopefully that
Okay, how much do you have in investments?
right now 25K.
Okay, you understand something that you have nothing?
Right,
You only have money in investments once you cash them in. What you have is
right,
on paper. And at 34 years old, you have $25,000 on paper.
right.
On paper.
Yeah,
You're going to need 2.4 to 2.5 million dollars to live from 65 to 85.
you're
1.9
right.
to 2.4. Where is that money going to come from? And I guarantee you that 25,000 can't grow to 2 million.
Yeah, I know. You
So
know,
where's it going to come from?
from my husband, me and my husband. I'm good. I'm
Oh,
gonna.
okay. So, hi, husband. Here are 4 kids from 3 different dudes. What is he
Oh,
going to get for having to save you from the streets?
oh,
Oh, I mean, is that not what he's doing?
right. You're
Okay,
right.
what's he gonna get? A man that has to get out and provide for you and 4 other children who will be his stepchildren and provide
Uh,
enough to where you don't hit the streets. Instead of keeping all that money for himself or going to get a young, fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive woman with no children and making his own legacy, what is he going to get that's so great and wonderful that makes him want to take all those chips and bet them on you?
You're right. You're
I
right.
know,
You're
I know I'm right, but what you ladies keep saying is you're right, but you won't answer.
because I don't really have an answer. I can't
And
really
the
say
answer is
anything.
nothing.
Right.
Just say nothing.
Nothing.
I mean,
Nothing. Okay.
it's not that you don't have an answer. The answer is I don't have anything.
Right. I don't.
I want a man to go out there and I want him to come save me.
Yes.
All right, then and that's fine. Fine. I'm good with that. I'm good with that answer. It's more truthful than a lot of women. But are you moving through the world like that? Are you moving through the world with that level of humility? Hey man, save me from the choices I made. Are you moving through life that way?
In like the last 6 months since watching you, yes. Yes. I had to humble myself. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Then what's the value proposition in the last 6 months? All right, I'm gonna save you. What do I get?
Help me with that answer.
Book a session for that one. No, see, that's the thing. And I'm
Good
saying this
point.
joking because the thing is, see, and I'm gonna just say this. man, a man with 4 children would be required to be able to provide for all those. But you ladies can go have kids with no plans, walk through
Yeah,
life like it's a game, laughing it off, joking it off. It's not funny.
you're
It's
right.
not. It's really not.
You're right.
It's kind of crazy that even at this point, I'm like, well, when are you going to start? When are you ladies going to start taking life seriously? I mean, something as simple as changing a smoke detector. You watch my show. Why is that thing beeping like that?
Because my brother hasn't changed it yet. I know.
Why don't you call it? Why don't you? How far up is that?
It's pretty tall. I'm not that tall, Kevin. I'm not that.
Then
It,
go get a goddamn ladder. And see, what I want you guys to understand is why the smoke detector is so symbolic. That would
right.
annoy a man, but women will sit in shit and wait for a man to come fix it and then still fix your mouth, say you don't need a man. You need
No,
us for everything.
I agree.
All right, then how are you walking through life like that when you deal with date with? Are you dating anyone right now?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all seriousness, because you got to know that your children, men look at the father and say whether or not they want to deal with you long term.
Right. Right.
So I don't want to go down that path, but let's just go down the path of, let's just say, in this sake of argument, that marriage is not in the cards for you in this lifetime.
Okay.
Then what's the rest of life look like for you?
Traveling and kids, I guess. I
You
love to travel.
traveling where?
I mean,
Hmm?
wherever I travel a lot. So I don't know, places I haven't been.
I don't know what that
Travel
means, man.
is who's gonna have my grandkids.
Travel,
Um,
travel meaning where, man?
um like the United States. I mean, I have a passport. I haven't been outside of the country yet, but traveling, seeing things I haven't seen before.
See, this is the difference between men and women. If a man had 4 kids and no one was coming to save him, he'd be thinking about getting a second job and stocking away everything else. Y'all thinking about fun.
I have that. I have that. Yeah.
You have 25 funky dollars. You have $25,000 on paper. Okay,
No, I meant a second job as well.
ma'am. What I'm saying is travel.
Oh,
That's not a
well,
priority.
it's not. You asked me what would I be doing at that
I said,
age
yeah, I
when
know. I said, if marriage is not in the cards for you, what does the
right.
remainder of life look like? You said traveling my kids. Well, your
Yeah.
kids are going to grow up and have their own lives, God willing. They'll leave you, as they should, leave you sitting by yourself. Then what does life look like?
Lonely.
And this is the
Lonely.
problem. And my point is, because there's a book called Promises I Can Keep: Why Poor Women Choose Motherhood Over Marriage. And there's a concept
Okay.
called the village wife. A lot of times women have children to fill up their lives, but then they end up making their children's, living vicariously through their kids. Your kids are there for you to raise them so they can go out and be healthy, productive citizens. They're not there to, to supplement you. And if you can't get yourself together to where you can get a man to end up working with you and cooperating with you for the rest of life, then that means you're going to end up, like you said, by yourself or lonely, but that's a choice too.
True.
See, all these choices come down to being serious. And maybe you're just a lighthearted person, or maybe you're just nervous or whatever, but a lot of you ladies aren't serious. I couldn't imagine having 4 kids and being as carefree as some of you ladies sound. I couldn't imagine it.
Oh,
Y'all act like it's like, oh, just happened.
I'm,
I was young.
uh, what?
I
Well,
mean, that's where some of y'all, you gotta admit that's how you sound. I was young, hey, whatever. All right.
because I can't change the past, right? So I have to accept what I have. My package is 4, right? So I have to
Well,
keep it real with myself first.
hmm
So I'm light about that
yeah,
because
that's true. You got to do that. But
Yeah.
how's your interaction with the children's father? Are they is the father in the kids' lives?
Yes.
All
Yes.
right, cool.
Every. Oh
So
yes.
if you're going forward and you if you and it if you do, I mean, if you do want to date, you have to be. We all must be. If men and women have to be assets to one another,
Right.
and that's what it ultimately comes down to. If you want a man to be in your life and be an asset to you, you must be a net asset to him.
I agree with that. Yes, I
So,
agree.
and unfortunately, because the way your life is particularly laid out right now, you've got more liabilities. See,
I do.
in many countries, women like you would even be women who have children are not even available for marriage. They're just shut out of the marriage market. In this country, it's
No,
not necessarily so. But then you still got to make yourself appealing.
true. Yeah.
Uh, now I do have
Uh,
to ask, why the short hair?
so the stress point is here.
Ah, okay. Okay. What was that?
Mm,
What was that guy from Drew Hill? Every time I see the short blonde hair, it's either her or Jada Pinkett or something.
Cisco, don't you
Hey,
dare.
I mean, his was platinum though. His was platinum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One
Come on, let's do it.
But
Let's
yeah.
do it. Let's do it. Thong, thong,
I'm
thong,
sorry.
thong. Come on, let's do it. Thong,
Right.
thong, thong, thong.
Yeah. Change
Drew
my hair.
Hill.
Make
All right, chica, I'm gonna talk here to you. Bye. Thong, 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 thong. She was a good spirit. She was good. She was a good sport. Thong, 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 thong. See, I think a lot of things in life it comes down to with women. If you're willing to be honest about what's going on and serious, then there's not. All right, ma'am, you just peeking out of the corner. What are you doing?
Oh,
Hello.
sorry. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
Good, and you?
Yeah, how old are you?
26.
Okay, you need to get all the way on camera because you're kind of off to the side.
Okay.
All right. So, what are we discussing here?
Um, I guess it was the
Dating
broadcast.
mercenaries, or are you tired of being alone? Which one?
I'm just tired of being alone.
Okay. So I need you to hold the phone right there. When was your last relationship?
It was, let's see, about 2 years ago.
How long did that last?
2 years.
Who ended it?
I did.
Why? Okay, you have a quick
I'm
way to
just,
answer because I got to get on through
it
this.
was better for both of us.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you're tired of being alone. What you doing about it?
Yeah, I just figured it was best for both of us.
What are you doing about it?
Just working on being a better me,
Okay. Well, you've been
doing the
single for
work.
2 years. Okay. When's that work gonna be done?
Um, I mean, I tried dating, but
Mm-hmm.
he just wanted to have fun, and I kind of more of a
Well,
relationship type of girl. So
you like dogs or cats?
I'm a dog person.
Better get a lifetime supply of Alpo. Why did I say that? Because young lady, you ladies act like life is supposed to come to you. I'm working on being a better
Mm,
me. You're 26. 26. That's
yep.
why I call it the danger zone. When you need to focus. But many of
Okay.
you young ladies are lazy when it comes to dating. You got all these lists and things you want, but then what are you doing to actually put yourself out there?
Well, I was listening on how you was talking about going out and just going out solo, no friends, and just
So,
kind of.
yeah, but do you do that? That's a yes or no question.
I've done it once, but
Okay,
that's
so in
about
other words, you're doing nothing. Okay, well, I can't help people. Two things I can't fix is coward and lazy. So if you're not going to do anything, that's why I said lifetime supply of Alpo. I can't fix coward or lazy. Uh, Can't fix coward, can't fix lazy. I'm gonna get you back on the soul. Hello, how are you? So Chimo?
Oh yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Good. So, what are we talking about? Talking about tired of being alone? Or are we talking about modern mercenaries?
Actually, so there was a lady who joined the call earlier today, and I kind of agree with her as far as well, what y'all's conversation, um, and how y'all were speaking about the older generation kind of failed us as far as like teaching us how to, properly prepare for marriage. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of here to like say like, I'm learning as well and kind of trying to navigate as well.
Well, I don't think she really agreed much with me. I
Mm-hmm.
said that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she came in saying, well, younger women need to be married. Then I was like, well, okay, cool, I hear you, but they're not going. Then I asked her about having any daughters. She said she had 4 stepdaughters, 25 to 29, who are always single. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
well, all right. So, what do you want to be married one day?
Absolutely. So definitely, for sure.
Was your
One
mother
day.
was your mother married?
My mother was married.
Okay.
She's divorced now.
Was she married to your father?
Yes, she was.
Hmm. How long were they married?
For about 10 years or so.
Mhm.
About 10 years.
So when you speak to your mother about dating, relationships, and men, is she
Hmm.
happy, upbeat, optimistic, and joyful?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also do come from a very strict traditional background. So earlier you were talking about how like back in the day, men or women don't really have to prepare for marriage. They're kind of just already ready. I completely agree with that. um when I was growing up, I always knew that, well, I kind of knew that my parents would like find someone for me.
Hmm.
However, since like living in America and everything like that, they kind of letting me like, look for love. And yeah.
Okay. So is your mother? She's been divorced from your father for how long?
Ooh, it's been about, yeah, like 20 something years now.
Has she had a boyfriend or a significant relationship since?
Yes, however, it's been a few years.
How long was that relationship?
Not that long at all.
Okay. So in the last 20 years, she hasn't had any real relationships.
Yeah, that's true. I think she focused more on me and my
So,
siblings.
so, so when I ask if your mom is happy, upbeat, joyful, and optimistic when she talks to you about relationships, if she divorced your father
Mm-hmm.
and she hasn't had a man,
Correct.
she can say one
Um,
thing, but what are you seeing?
I think she's focused on herself, honestly.
It's a mercenary. It's a
True.
mercenary because
True.
you say you were raised in a traditional kind of place, but
Mm-hmm.
uh, your mother divorced your father or your father divorced your mother.
Situation was pretty bad, so it was definitely my mother who left.
Okay. I don't want to pry too much. Are you saying the situation
Mm-hmm.
was bad because you witnessed
Mm-hmm.
it?
Mm-mm. Yeah.
Okay.
But
I don't, but okay. All right. Women often, I often hear young ladies idealize their mothers.
mm-hmm.
What did your mother teach you about relationships if she's not in one? Can't keep one.
So that's actually a good point that you make.
I know.
You actually, well, I had to learn like, okay, if my mom is living like this and, you
So, in other
know,
words, you got to answer the
okay,
question before you do that.
okay,
What is she teaching
okay.
you?
So what she taught me is, what I learned is that you definitely can't be in a situation that you're not happy with.
Okay. All right. All
Especially if
right.
it's not healthy.
No.
Okay.
No. Move
Okay.
on past your mother and because see, I don't want to go down that path. I don't want to ask what the issues were.
Mm-hmm.
Were the police involved? All right, then we move on.
Mm-hmm.
But since then, what is she teaching you about men? Because that ain't all men. That ain't all relationships. I don't want to go there.
Okay.
But what else?
She always, well, she's taught me to find somebody who loves me, find
Uh-huh.
someone who will care for me,
Uh-huh.
support me.
What does that mean?
Um,
What does
what
that
does that
mean?
mean?
Uh-huh.
I need to make sure that I find a man that I'm basically not doing all of the work.
Uh-huh. So she taught
That,
you, thank you.
mm-hmm,
Somebody who will love me and support me. When it gets right
mm-hmm,
down to it, here comes the fears. Somebody that's going, I'm not going to do it. So come on. I know where we're going with this. You're saying one thing, but you were taught another.
okay.
You said she was joyful, optimistic, upbeat, but she told me to find somebody who loves me,
Mm-hmm,
somebody who's going to support me,
mm-hmm,
but you're supposed to be the support system, not me. You are my support system. I'm not your support system. You're
mm-hmm,
supposed to love me. I'm not supposed to love you. I'm supposed to protect you. You're
mm-hmm.
supposed to love me.
Okay.
You are my support. I'm not your
Okay.
support. And then somebody where I'm not going to have to do all the work. You're supposed to work for me.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
You said you were raised in a traditional kind of way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not hearing any traditional anything that your mother's teaching you. And she ain't living it because she don't have a man.
And I was just about to say that. So she can't live it, but I
Yes, she
mean, based
can.
off of the,
Yes, she can. She could have.
okay,
Yes, she can. She could have found a
by
man.
finding a man.
Thank you. Because children
Mm-hmm.
don't learn from what you tell them. They don't learn from what you see.
Mm-hmm.
And at 26 years old, you're no closer to being married than you were at 23 because you don't even
Mm-hmm.
know what you're looking for. You don't even know
I
what you're
believe I
looking
know
for.
what I'm looking for.
Okay, what are you looking for?
So I'm definitely looking for a man who has more than what I have for myself.
What does that mean?
Say again.
What does that mean?
So I have this, I guess, vision for myself as far as how successful I need to be. And I feel like the man that I find either needs to meet that or exceed that by at least times
What do you
three.
have?
What do I currently have?
Uh-huh.
So currently I have like a job, like you mean like physically, like I have a job
You
or
said you
like,
didn't meet a man that has more than you. What do you have?
so I live in my own place. I have my own cars.
Okay, hold on. You own a
Hmm.
home or an apartment?
I'm in an apartment,
Okay, you own cars or car?
a car.
Okay, you have an apartment, a car. Did you go to college?
Yes, I did.
Did you
And I'm
graduate?
currently, yes, I did with the
What's your degree in?
bachelor's,
And
working
what?
on a master's,
Bachelor's in
business
what?
administration.
A master's in what?
I'm either going to do a master, well, I'm working on a
I'm a
master's
PhD.
in finance. Sorry.
Right. Uh-huh. So
Hmm.
you got a car, an apartment, uh, and did you get scholarships or you have student loans?
I do have student loans.
Uh-huh.
I did get
So
scholarships as well,
so
but I'm
are
in debt.
you
Yes, I get your point.
how much are we talking? 10, 20, 30, 40, what?
Oh, I'm up there.
What's that?
Oh, I'm like 60K.
All right. So in other words, you're a 26-year-old woman. How tall are you?
I am 5'5".
Dress size?
You say again?
Dress size?
Oh, dress size. I don't know, like 12. I don't know. I don't
12?
know
How
my
much did you
dress
weigh the
size.
last time you weighed yourself?
I'm like 190.
How many children would you like to have?
2.
Hmm. And after you're pregnant and married with your first child, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills?
Absolutely not.
Okay, what percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for an
Less
entire
than
lifetime?
30.
Less than 30 could mean one. Which percentage?
30 or less.
Well, ma'am, you cannot work after you're pregnant and then be responsible for 30% of the family financial load. Those two numbers don't match.
How not?
Well, if you're not working, at what age do you plan on going back to work?
Um, so so I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So what percentage of
When
the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime? And 30% means if your income goes away, the family takes a substantial hit. 30%, you cannot, a ship can't even stay with 3 compartments. 30% compromises it.
Mhm.
So, what percentage of the overall family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for? Meaning, if you don't make it, it doesn't compromise the. Meaning, you don't make it.
Okay, quick question. I'm so sorry.
Huh?
So if I'm responsible for 30%, leaving
Uh-huh.
us with 70%, that
Uh-huh.
we can't live off of that.
It's going to substantially change what happens. 30% is
Mm.
beyond the tipping point.
So what would be a good
No, no, I
percentage
know.
for a
I don't know, ma'am. I'm asking you. You said you don't want to, after married, pregnant, you
Mhm.
don't want to have to work. So,
Okay, let me change that statement. I don't want to have to work like like a job to where it's like
ma'am, I just
8 to
need to know
5.
what I want to know
Okay.
what percentage of the overall family
30%.
financial stress. So you want to be responsible for 30% of the family stress. So that means your
Correct.
daughter or your son has a car. You want to be responsible for 30% of that. They go to college. You want to be responsible to pay 30% of that. You
Correct.
responsible for 30% for the rest of your life. So that means you're going to have to work through 65. All right. What state do you live in?
Texas.
Texas.
Mhm.
How much does it cost to have a middle class family of four in Texas to live a middle class life?
50 to 60K
What the French toast did you just say?
to have a
A
to
family of
have a
four. A family
oh
of
for
four.
120K.
A family of two children and two adults to where the kids can have cars and go to college. $120,000. $120,000 in Texas. I lived in Texas for 12 years. That ain't gonna cut
Mhm.
it. That's not gonna cut it. That's not gonna cut it. But let's just say, what? How much do you think you'll make at the top of your career?
About 120, 30K.
So 120 or 30K. So
Mhm.
that's 30%. So your man needs to make 70. So let's just use your math then, shall we?
Mhm.
So 130,000 times 0.17. So your man needs to make 221,000. If you're responsible for 30%,
My goal was actually 360,000 for my husband.
what percentage of men earn that amount of money?
Top 5 to 1%.
Top 1%. Ma'am,
Mhm.
do you care if he's black, white, Hispanic, Asian,
An
or
astronaut.
Um yes,
what do you want him to be?
African American.
Huh. And your dress size 12.
Yes, very curvaceous woman.
Yeah, how curvy you are, you're almost 200 pounds, and you want a man who's making $360,000. So I got a question
Correct.
for you.
Mhm.
What does a man who's making $360,000 or more want from a woman?
Nothing.
Hmm.
They don't need anything from us.
Modern mercenaries, everybody. You can't make this shit up.
They don't need anything for
You
us. They
can't make
have
this
they
shit up. You
have the
can't make
whole
this shit.
world to
You
choose from.
cannot make this shit up. What does a man who's making that kind of money or more want from a woman?
I mean, I guess at that point it would just be, what does he want from a woman? He would just want a family at that point. A woman
Well,
that's going to be
hold on,
there
ma'am.
to
Hold on,
okay.
ma'am. Hold on. See how
Mhm.
see how clear you had for the man and how much money he needs to make and all this other shit. When I ask you one simple thing, what does the kind of man that you want from a woman? You can't answer that simple question. Just
I
kids, huh?
said,
Ma'am, all he needs is a working womb to do that.
mhm.
So what does he want?
It would be basically somebody he could come back to for his support, somebody who's going to basically care after the kids
What's
while
your longest
he's out there
relationship? What's
working.
your longest relationship?
My longest relationship is the one I'm in now,
Uh-huh.
and I guess you could say that that's it, a little over a year.
Uh-huh. And how old is he?
Hmm. He is 25.
All right. So he's a year younger than you.
Hmm.
What's the maximum age difference you want between you and your husband?
maximum. So for me to be stable, I would have to be looking at a guy that's like over 10 to 15 years older than me.
All right. So you can't make this shit up. And you say it confidently too. I want him making $360,000. First off, you do realize that these men don't want women way more than they do.
Okay.
Point blank, end of sentence. Number one. Number
Uh-huh.
two, they don't want women that are not traditional.
Okay.
You're not traditional.
I'm not
You're,
traditional.
oh no, you're very modern.
How so? Please tell me.
No, well, fact of the matter, you're single at this point. And we went through how you were raised. You're not traditional. You're dating a guy who's a year younger than you. You're not traditional. See, traditional women by your age would have been married because marriage is a requirement for traditional women.
Absolutely.
Men are not optional. You have a dream. You have no, don't so. You have a fantasy, which is fine. But you're trying to
Okay.
find a man in the top 1% of women. And this
Mhm.
man has the option of the world.
Mhm.
So first thing he wants from a woman is like most men want from women who are cooperative,
Okay.
traditional,
Mhm.
then fit feminine friendly. You fail the fitness part.
Okay.
So automatically you have to compete with the women that are around that man. So why would a black man who's making that kind of money, skip over all the plethora of women who were raised to be there with him? Who don't
Mhm.
have the kind of family thing you're talking about, whose mother actually has modeled this kind of stuff, who actually knows what a man wants, other than just who can answer the questions I'm talking about. Why should he skip all these women and choose you?
So most of your questions have been like, I guess, about my current situation and how I grew up. But I mean, if we're talking about traditionalism, right? I was raised to cater
I
to
asked you,
men.
why should he skip over
Okay.
all these women and take
Hmm.
you? I asked you all these
Because of
questions
how
because
I was raised and how I was
you weren't
brought
raised.
up.
You were raised by a divorcee who hasn't had a relationship for 20 years.
Okay. I have a strong
Uh-huh.
family of women who are married
Okay.
around
All
me
right.
who have
You got a
taught
cook.
me
You got a cookbook.
I don't need a cookbook.
Oh yeah, you do need a cookbook. See right there, folks. Right there. Right there. Right there. You heard the voice. You heard it. Like I said, all you have to do is trigger these modern women, and it'll come out. You heard the tone. Thank you.
I don't need a cookbook. You have.
Yeah, you need Jesus. Oh my God. 200 pounds. I don't need a cookbook. You don't need nothing from me. That's why you're dealing with a 25-year-old, because a man who's serious would not deal with this. Look at this shit right here. I don't need them. I don't need a, yeah. Get your 15 minutes of fame. Oh my goodness. $360,000. Now, for the low price of $360,000, you'll get a woman who's not 30, 40, 50. She's 60 plus $1,000 in debt, guys. And that's before grad school. Then you get the benefit of her having her consumer debt, her credit card debt. Then the fact that she's a whopping size 12. It's curvaceous, but it's a 12. And she doesn't even have a cookbook. She doesn't need a cookbook because you're making all the money. All she has to do is sit there and give you starfish sex and a size 12 body. And you should be happy to get that. Matter of fact, you should skip over every woman that's already been raised to be fit, feminine, friendly, cooperative, submissive, to kind of work and create and support your man. You should skip over all of them to go to get to her. Right. Buy a dog. Buy a dog. Oh my God. Hello. You muted yourself.
Yeah, I did.
How
How
are
are you?
you?
I'm great. Just enjoying your show.
Yeah. How old are you, by the way?
I'm 28.
28. You got any brothers
Yes.
who wants a? You got any brothers making $300,000?
Uh, right now,
You know any
not
men
that are
making
single.
$350,000 or more?
Not that are single.
Okay. Well, if you know any
Definitely.
guys making $300 to $400,000, I got a winner down here in Texas for you. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I
I
couldn't
I
resist.
don't think
I
so.
couldn't
I don't
resist.
think so.
All right. So what
That's
do we got,
funny.
man? What's going on?
Well, I agree with you. I definitely think that it's hard for these young women to not be mercenaries and to
Mm-hmm.
themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just really sad to see them kind of setting themselves up for failure. And I actually had a friend, I showed her one of your videos a couple weeks ago, and I enjoyed it. And she actually was talking to me about her boyfriend getting advice, and I was trying to tell her, like, oh, you should really stay with him. Like, I've been with my guy for 10 years. Like, just trying to show her like some of the stuff that you were saying. And she actually proceeded to block me
Mm-hmm.
the following day
She
and
did
didn't
you a
want to
favor.
talk to me, didn't want to do anything with me. So,
She did you a favor. She
yeah,
did you
she
a
definitely
favor
did. She definitely
because
did.
women like that don't want constructive criticism, correction. They just want to be right.
Hmm.
And inevitably, she's probably gonna stab you in the back somewhere anyway, because most people who
Yeah.
dislike me can't tell you why, other than the fact that I don't like his tone. Okay, well,
Hmm.
you'll be better off
Yeah.
as it ends up. But I did want to get you to pop in because we were trying to get you in, but I'm getting towards the end of the show. Keep
Yeah,
watching.
I kind of knew that.
Keep watching. See you. Join in later. Bye
I
bye.
will for sure. Have a good night.
Bye bye. Ladies, understand something. You want to lose friends? Tell them you watch this show. Uh, who is this person sitting in the dark? Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. I don't do that. Yeah, poor baby. $360,000. Now, why is that such an issue? Because I want you guys to understand that that's the essence of a mercenary. Mercenaries worry about what they want, what's in it for them. Basic skill. The average mercenary has skills, but are they skilled so much above somebody who's fighting for your nation, for your army? Not necessarily. Guys, I will say this, ladies and gentlemen, but gentlemen, you better get really good at asking qualifying questions and getting to the root of who people are. Because I've heard these women being called chameleons, a lot of other stuff. A lot of women today are watching these channels, femininity influencers, and becoming really adept at saying or believe they're saying the right thing. But all you have to do is ask a question 3 layers deep, and most of it will start to fall away. I said it again, I said it then, I'll say it again. That young lady was not traditional. She may have been raised by a bunch of different women and such. You ain't marrying none of them. You're marrying what's in that mindset. And that mindset said he wants nothing from me except me to have some babies. Okay. Have some babies, and then what? Who gonna cook for them babies? Where's the recipe? I don't need a recipe book. I got the internet. I got whatever. I'm like, it's not a matter of the recipe book. It's a matter of the mindset. So you guys need to be on the watch out for this kind of stuff. And I would tell you, just like I said about the mercenary, she filled both categories. The out for self, and then the older woman with the younger man. Remember the two components? All of it in all in one nice little 26-year-old package. When somebody shows you who they are, gentlemen, believe it. And that means that doesn't make her a bad person. It doesn't mean that she's, a horrible person. It's just this the West has contorted things to where women today who may be softer spoken or maybe not be overly aggressive or ratchet or whatever consider themselves to be traditional. I cannot tell you how many young black women I met in the last 3 months who will tell you to your face they are traditional women. And I'm like, no, you're a nice modern woman. Traditional women know their role. They desire their role. They relish their role. They want to be married and are only dealing with men who are marriage minded because they know something is amiss if they're not in a relationship with a man, a significant relationship, and husband. There's no question about this. It's not I'm going to go to college to get my master's or something and so forth. No, 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 no. That's why every time some woman came in my career, my this, my that, all right, modern mindset. And here's the thing: modern women do not work well or fit well with traditional men. Modern women do not fit well with high value men. They don't. They don't. High value men want traditional women. So it's better to have none than to get one because you just want somebody to kick it with. That's why so many guys are starting to step back and say, you know what? I'd rather just not deal with you at all. And this is when it'll really start, gentlemen. When you say no to a woman who may be attractive, cute, whatever, and she's not for you, understand. Very few women know how to deal with rejection. You better be prepared to become gay, this, that, so on and so forth, or they're going to step it up. Then they'll start trying to bring you in. Hey, come over to the house, let's Netflix and chill, so on and so forth. Stay on your square, gentlemen, because if you start down the path of dealing with a modern woman, a modern mercenary, when you're on your purpose, on your square, going down in your path, she will divert your attention to her. You cannot divert your attention to anything except you and your purpose. And women who understand what's best for us all are okay with that. They want it that way. Like I said in the monologue, you couldn't make the second to the last call any better. And all the elements in the monologue were right there. A woman like that would end up making her the center of the world. You would have to go out and do everything to lay it down at her feet because what? She had a baby? So, young lady, don't get upset because it is what it is. I'm going to tell you straight up that wanting a man, this woman said $360,000. I want a man who's going to have at least what I have. Texas breeds women like this. That's why I went down to Houston. Between Houston and Dallas, it is wrought with these women. In Dallas, you're going to find the more Christian version. I've already talked about the women in Dallas. Then in Houston, the finesse capital of the world, right? And then the only other place is Chicago. You can just take I-35 from Chicago to Dallas and go 45 to Houston. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, gentlemen, hey, good show. Stay on your square, get what's good for you. And for you ladies, you understand something. Moderate, there's not really much to be said. Wait a minute. There's not really much you can say for somebody saying they want $300,000 from a man. You better be a bona fide LA 9 or better, and you better have a solid, tight dress size 4, dress size 6. I don't care about this voluptuous something. You better be, yes. $300,000? I want you guys under $360,000. I want you to understand that's $30,000 a month. That's $7,500 a week. She wants a dude that's making $180 an hour, and you a dress size 12? Before children? Before children. Now, after children, you gain that 30 to 50 pounds. Oh, but I guess that's right. You make it 300,000, she's gonna get your money. You're gonna go get a mommy makeover or something. Man, get the fuck out of here, boy. Y'all better understand. So here's what we do. That was a good show. You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up, man. You can't make it up. You can't make it up. You cannot make this shit up. I swear to God, you cannot make it up. So I need you ladies to understand that this is what men are dealing with. This is what so many men are dealing with. They're like, well, damn. Can I at least get some, can I get a sandwich or something? I don't need no cookbook. Do what for you? This is why I love the women that come over here who are really trying to get a better outcome. Understand one thing. Women who actually prioritize trying to please a man, you need to have the pick me spirit. The women who prioritize pleasing a man is top of mind, a man is an actual priority. Those are the women that win effortlessly. The women who try to manipulate or rejigger the situation to where they are in the beneficiary position in a relationship are women who spend the majority of their time trying to play games. And there's always a winner and loser in these situations. This is why I say it's better to not deal with mercenaries. Better to not deal with mercenaries. If this country ever decided to do what Amsterdam did and legalize certain things, it would stop a lot of this mercenary behavior. Let me go through this chat room and let me answer some questions real quick. I got a little bit of time. Gotta stay on your purpose. Who is this? Please save the cookbook comment, Kevin. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Somebody, just like I'm a PhD, somebody want to go into the archive, into the video, and clip the "I don't need a cookbook" comment. Ma'am, you are now part of the show. I don't need a cookbook.
I'm a PhD.
I'm a PhD. I don't need a cookbook. I told you.
I'll make you famous.
I don't need a cookbook. Who gonna cook for your kids? Not me. Not me. And I even let her slide on this.
Not the banging, the banging. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck no, not the banging, the banging. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck no.
I'll even let her slide on the bang. I let her slide on the bang. Remember that movie, The Fifth Dimension? The Fifth Element? Coming. When Chris Tucker was, what was that character he played in The Fifth Element? Coming, and he had that little blonde thing sticking out his head. What was Chris Tucker in The Fifth Element? Coming. Flossin' Paradise. You're gonna call her Flossin' Paradise. You're gonna call her the Flossin' Paradise girl. Flossin' Paradise. What was his name? What was that dude's name? Rowdy Ricky or something? Ruby Rod. Ruby Rod. Coming. What we gonna do? Okay, coming. Chris Tucker, Ruby Rod sings the bayang. Coming. Flossin' Paradise. I'm going to hell. Y'all are horrible. I am going to hell. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. No! Coming. What we gonna coming. Remember that on Family Guy? Coming. Ruby Rod. Blossom Paradise. What's going on, my man? What's going on, my man? What's going on, my man?
Don't move.
Come on, 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 come on. I'm going to hell. You guys should not be encouraging this shit, man. Stop it. Just stop it. I want a picture of that. I got to get a picture of that. Hold on. I got to get a picture of that before we go. Shout out to the Bayang girl. So I'm gonna put that on. I'm gonna add that. I don't need the cookbook. I don't need the cookbook, and you're gonna have it right there. She don't need the cookbook. I don't need no cookbook. I don't need no cookbook. That's crazy. That's crazy. I don't need no cookbook. I got Googles. Y'all want to know what I'm looking for? I'm gonna show you what I'm looking for. Here's what I'm looking for. Blossom Paradise. That thing on the forehead, little knot. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Not the banging. The banging. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck no, not the banging. The banging. Oh, 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 oh. Fuck no.
Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in. Where you going, come in? Where you going, come in, 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 come in. I'm gonna get out of here, man. We ran long tonight. I was a little bit late, but that was good. That was great, guys. I appreciate it. That was fun. Until the next time. Peace. Coben. We are out.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes, yeah. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say. Where we are heading now, babe, I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all.
What's going on, my man?
So tell your good night.
Don't leave me, Kobe.
'Cause I'll find no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell you good night. 'Cause I'll find no matter what. Ooh, susceptible now. Before the moment flies. It's not a problem. No. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah. Nothing can stop me.